And whether they put any monitors in our baby room. Our civilization is so young, they might think of us as a baby that needs some monitors in the baby room.
Something extraordinary has just taken place in our solar system. Only a few hours after a massive explosion tore the comet Atlas into pieces, something unbelievable happened. The same spot in space now shows a complete, solid object once again. It looks exactly like the original. Telescopes that witnessed Atlas break apart are now observing it as if nothing ever happened. Astronomers are calling this strange phenomenon the Reconstruction Event. NASA scientists are baffled. None of our current models of matter, energy, or even time can explain what's happening. AT-213 Universal Time coordinated yesterday. Atlas was moving along its path about 0.9 astronomical units from the Sun when, without any warning, the solar orbiter detected a powerful flare coming from deep inside its core.
It has changed again. Now interstellar object 3A Atlas is glowing blue. That is the 9th anomaly that has been detected with this object that is hidden from our sight right now. What a Harvard scientist says is the right moment to do something, to come to Earth if it was an alien spaceship.
The explosion was so intense that its light briefly outshone a small solar flare. Just moments later, all radar contact with Atlas disappeared. Fragments scattered outward in a perfect sphere, moving at nearly 30 kilometers per second. All available data confirmed it. The comet had exploded. For several hours, the surrounding space was filled with metallic debris, highly reflective and evenly spread out. Spectroscopic readings revealed traces of ionized nickel, silicon, and unusual carbon compounds, the kind often linked to artificial materials. Even the most skeptical scientists agreed, whatever Atlas was, it had been completely destroyed.
What's happening is the sun's energy is hitting this side of the comet, and it increases activity, and the comet pushes this dust away, causing this front-facing tail. It's also incredibly old. Scientists think this could be older than the entire solar system. And we do know the path it's going to take through the solar system. The sun's gravity is going to fling.
12 hours after the explosion, something incredible happened. The fragments stopped spreading and began moving inward, as if pulled toward an unseen center. High-speed images from the James Webb Telescope showed each piece following curved paths that shouldn't exist in empty space. There was no gravity strong enough to guide them, yet they converged precisely, spiraling together and locking edge to edge, like parts returning to an assembly line. BY 1637 Universal Time coordinated, the debris had contracted into a glowing sphere just 4 kilometers wide. Inside that glow, infrared sensors detected rhythmic pulses, not random flashes, but perfectly timed, mathematical intervals. The pulses grew faster as the structure condensed, and at exactly 1800 hours Universal Time coordinated, the light vanished. When the glare cleared, Atlas was fully restored. Same size, same reflective surface, same rotation. Nothing in known physics allows matter to reassemble spontaneously after total destruction. Thermodynamics forbids it. Yet the data was clear. The first hint came from magnetometer readings. During the collapse, local magnetic fields spiked by over 400%. Such a surge suggests Atlas generated its own temporary containment field, a pocket of warped space holding its fragments together. Within this field, atomic motion could be slowed, reversed, or guided. Physicists call this localized temporal inversion. If true, Atlas didn't rebuild itself in ordinary time, it effectively reversed its own destruction. The European Space Agency labeled the phenomenon Anomaly 10R, describing it as self-directed structural reconstitution via magnetic confinement. The language is cautious, but the implications are staggering. Atlas may have a self-repair mechanism far beyond anything humans have built. There is a tiny precedent on Earth. In some lab experiments with controlled plasma, magnetic vortices can hold tiny fragments together briefly after impact. But those effects last microseconds and need constant energy. Atlas maintained its field for 12 hours, and with perfect precision. The rebuilt object isn't a rough jumble of debris. It matches the original down to the smallest detail. Radar reflections, thermal readings, and rotation all align with pre-explosion measurements, accurate to within 0.2%.
But I do think the one thing that's good about this, right, about 3i Atlas, is I think it's opening up a dialogue in science and to talk about this possibility that there could be something like this, that an event like this where there is some kind of clear and obvious technological intrusion from something else into our solar.
That level of precision means one thing: the structure didn't just rebuild itself, it remembered what it was. Scientists now believe Atlas may contain an internal network of quantum memory, a field capable of storing the exact spatial information of every atom within it. When activated, this hidden lattice could serve as a blueprint, drawing scattered material back into its original form. And this isn't pure speculation. The same basic idea is already being explored in experimental quantum computing, where entangled particles can restore atomic positions to a previous state. In other words, Atlas may not just exist, it may know how to exist again.
3i Atlas was strange in my mind the minute I heard about it, because it was discovered at a distance of 4.5 times the Earth-Sun separation, and yet it was discovered with a telescope that is only half a meter in diameter. And the reason is because...
But until now, no one had ever seen this kind of process happen on a macroscopic scale. Data from the Parker Solar Probe adds an even stranger twist. As the fragments reassembled, the probe detected a stream of high-energy neutrinos coming from Atlas's core. Neutrinos almost never interact with matter, yet their timing matched the reconstruction pulses perfectly. This suggests Atlas may have been using neutrino emissions as control signals, orchestrating its rebuild from the inside out. For NASA's propulsion and materials scientists, the implications are staggering. If Atlas can break apart and reassemble itself, it could survive impacts, radiation, or even stellar collisions, effectively making it indestructible. It's a technology far beyond anything humans have ever created.
And so altogether, I ranked it 4 on a scale where 10 is definitely technological and 0 is definitely natural. This is now called the Loeb scale, and I say that it is sufficiently unusual for us to keep an eye on it, but
But the most unsettling discovery came after Atlas stabilized. When analysts compared its new trajectory to its original path, they noticed a small but critical change, a 1.7 degrees shift in its orbit. That might sound minor, but across interplanetary distances, it's massive. This means Atlas is no longer just drifting outward as before. It has changed direction, deliberately or otherwise. Whatever came back together isn't exactly the same object. It's something new, something with purpose. That's what now haunts every space agency. Was the explosion an accident, or part of a cycle? The mystery only deepened in the hours after Atlas reformed. Scientists expected it to cool down after such an intense event, but the opposite happened. The object's surface temperature began to rise in steady, rhythmic waves. Each pulse moved from pole to pole every 31 seconds, almost like a heartbeat. Even more strangely, ESA's solar orbiter detected an electromagnetic resonance field surrounding Atlas, faint but stable, stretching thousands of kilometers into space. That field did not exist before the explosion.
Think it stopped to refuel by the sun. Others think it deployed a solar shield, sent out signals, or even changed directions. But here's the truth. 3i Atlas is following exactly the path astronomers predicted. There's no sudden stops, there's no secret thrusts, just gravity, sunlight, and gas jets doing what comets do. That solar shield, it's just solar heating causing outgassing. Basically, sunlight hitting frozen gases until they vent like steam.
The mystery deepens even further. The strength of the electromagnetic field now fluctuates in harmonic ratios tied to the Fibonacci sequence, the same mathematical pattern seen in earlier cosmic anomalies. To scientists, this points to a possible reorganization of Atlas's internal systems, as if it somehow upgraded itself during reconstruction. What's equally remarkable is the change in its surface. Before the explosion, Atlas's albedo, its reflectivity, averaged 0.42. Now it measures 0.63, meaning it reflects significantly more light. Spectrographic scans reveal a new crystalline structure unlike anything known in nature or in human-made materials. Its atomic lattice appears semi-fluid, a blend of solid and plasma states held together by magnetic forces. In essence, it behaves like living metal. One NASA researcher privately described it as programmable matter on a planetary scale. Each microscopic section of its surface seems capable of adjusting independently, together forming an enormous adaptive skin, a structure that appears not just alive, but intelligently responsive.
Asteroid or comet will be whizzing around our sun, and if it picks up extra energy on its flyby, that would clinch it. That means there's extraterrestrial intelligence involved. So watch for it. On October 30th, starting then, we're going to track it to see whether it gets an extra boost of energy. If so, it means we are being visited.
Something unprecedented is happening in our solar system. What began as a violent explosion that shattered the object known as 3I Atlas has turned into one of the greatest mysteries in modern science. Hours after being blown apart, the same object somehow came back together, identical in every measurable way. First, telescopes confirmed total destruction. The light from the blast was brighter than a small solar flare. Fragments scattered evenly in all directions, traveling at nearly 30 kilometers per second. Spectral readings showed traces of metals and exotic carbon compounds, the kind found in advanced synthetic materials. No one doubted it. Atlas was gone. But 12 hours later, everything changed. The debris stopped drifting apart and began to move inward, as if drawn by an unseen force. High-speed images from the James Webb Space Telescope showed every fragment following curved paths that defied physics. There was no gravity strong enough to pull them together. Yet they moved with precision, spiraling toward the center and fitting together perfectly. BY 1637 Universal Time Coordinated, the debris had collapsed into a glowing sphere only 4 kilometers wide. Inside it, infrared sensors detected rhythmic pulses, perfectly timed flashes growing faster and faster until, at 1800 hours Universal Time Coordinated, the light vanished. When it cleared, Atlas was whole again. Same shape, same rotation, same reflective pattern. The data left scientists speechless. According to every law of thermodynamics, matter cannot simply rebuild itself after total disintegration. And yet, that's exactly what appeared to happen. Magnetometer readings offered the first clue. During the collapse, local magnetic fields spiked by more than 400%. The only way that could happen is if Atlas created its own containment bubble, a pocket of warped space that kept its fragments confined. Inside that field, atomic motion could have been slowed or even reversed, a process physicists call localized temporal inversion. If that's true, Atlas didn't just rebuild itself, it reversed its own destruction. The European Space Agency classified the phenomenon as Anomaly 10R, describing it as self-directed structural reconstitution through magnetic confinement. In plain terms, Atlas may possess a self-repair system far beyond human technology. Further analysis revealed astonishing precision. Every detail matched the original within 0.2%. To achieve that level of accuracy, the object must have retained a complete memory of its original structure. Scientists now believe Atlas contains a quantum memory lattice, a field capable of storing the exact spatial position of every atom. When triggered, it acts like a blueprint, pulling matter back into perfect alignment. This concept mirrors principles used in experimental quantum computing, where entangled particles can restore atomic states. The difference is that Atlas appears to do it on a planetary scale. But this was only the beginning. The Parker Solar Probe detected high-energy neutrinos emerging from Atlas's core during the reconstruction. These particles rarely interact with matter, yet their timing matched the object's pulse pattern. Researchers think Atlas used neutrino emissions as control signals, coordinating its rebuild from the inside out. That idea has enormous implications. If Atlas can dismantle and reassemble itself, it could withstand impacts, radiation, even stellar collisions. In theory, it would be indestructible. Then came the most unsettling discovery. After stabilization, analysts noticed Atlas's trajectory had shifted by 1.7 degrees. That's a small number, but over vast distances, it means Atlas is no longer on its original course. It isn't just restored. It's moving with intent. What followed deepened the mystery. Instead of cooling down, Atlas's surface temperature began to rise in rhythmic waves, each one pulsing from pole to pole every 31 seconds.